Hello and welcome everyone to the War Thunder game. My name is RavenProDesign, and in today's video, we will be comparing some aircrafts again. Today that will be a tier 9, and there'll also be, well, I will start with it. I'm sorry first of all for not releasing the video on Friday, but my work loadout did change a bit in the before the weekend. And this is also some update for the channel. Well, in this week I don't know if I will be able to put as many of the videos out there as I did use into the previous weeks. Well, I will try to do my best to get you a good gameplay, get you a good footage, but it will be harder for me, so please remember about that if there won't be a movie release every day. That would be the first thing. Second thing, after today's video, after we will compare, well, I will compare the tier 9 aircrafts, I will do a new series, which I did started with the G50 Frecia 2 from Germany. I will fly and I will talk about each and every aircraft I did get the review on. So a tier 2 aircraft, tier 4, the attackers slash bombers, and the tier 9s, of course, right here, the tier 6s. Well, every aircraft up to tier 10. I will try to get you a good game with it. I will try to talk a bit about the aircraft, how you should fly it, what's the strength of the aircraft, and that will be coming maybe by the end of this week, depending on how much time I will get. And why I will be going up to tier 10? Well, first of all, if you are playing well, let's say peak hours, and you see that you do have these brackets right here, and they are 0, 4, 5, 10 with the, well, there should be another one here with 0, 0, 1, but you will get into the games in the peak hours whenever you have the top tier aircraft in your lineup, consisting like, well, I don't have this in Germany, well, I am using this lineup anymore, but whenever you will get to the battle with the maximum rank 10 aircraft in your lineup, and there are plenty battles, so the matchmaker will try to get you into the proper game of your proper level, so up to tier 10. I know that it's not working. I know there will be comments that, well, the matchmaker is broken and stuff like that. Yes, it is broken, but it is trying to get you to the proper game. The other day I was flying with some of my friends, and we were flying up to tier 4, and the games we play, the maximum tier we did see in about 10 games. We did play 8 or 9 games, it was probably 8 games, with our level, so it was a tier 4. There was some cases that someone did have like tier 5, maybe tier 6 aircraft into the game, but most of the time it was up to tier 4, tier 5 maybe. So that's why those brackets, well, they don't work right now, remember about it, but if you are playing into the peak hours and you do have loads of players, like, well, now it's 16,000 online, and playing the arcade battles it's close to 11,000. Remember, you do have a better chances to get yourself into your tier game. But remember, it's not working 100% of the time. It's not like you have to get into one of those games. So that is the second thing I did want to tell you. Now for our today's video main topic, so aircraft comparison. Well, we will be comparing some tier 9 fighters. So let's introduce our competitors. Well, the first one, P63A10 King Cobra, with his little brother here, P63A5 King Cobra. There is also from the Americans come BF-109F4, the premium aircraft. Then from the Germany, the BF-109 G2. From the Russia comes the... Well, oh, I didn't put him into the slot. Well, let me fix that really quickly. The Yak-3. Then the British comes with the Spitfire Mark 9, and I will explain that in a second. And then the Risen Mod 22. So, what do we have here? Why did I pick the Spitfire Mark 10 for this comparison of the Tier 9 fighters? Well, first of all, the British don't have right now the Tier 9 fighter. That's the first thing. Second thing, whenever you'll be flying those brackets I did mention earlier, you will probably go with your, well, Tier 9 aircrafts. And that's what you will get. But whenever you will be flying British, you don't have Tier 9, so you might as well put this Tier 10. And believe me, in the terms of stats, when I was comparing this aircraft, the Spitfire Mark 9, with the others, it never took the first place. It was always somewhere in the middle. Well, it did exceed in one category, which is the rate of climb, because it do have 26 meters per second of climb time, or climb rate, sorry. But yet again, I do feel like he will belong in here. And why I didn't pick up the P-38G Lightning? Well, let me put it that way. The P-38G Lightning, I don't feel like it's a good aircraft for arcade. Basically, his very slow turn time, and this turn time you can actually feel in the game, compared to any of the King Cobras you do have on the Tier 9. Well, they are just better. They are just simply better. Also, the, well, repair cost is a bit lower for the Lightning. It's only 2,800, but it doesn't compensate the, well, the ability of this fighter to get his job done. Whenever you get yourself into the domination map, it will be very hard for you to do anything, because after the initial wave of bombers, there will be nothing for you to hunt, and it will be pretty hard to get many kills with this fighter. And that's why I did put both of the King Cobras into the comparison, and not the Tier 10 Lightning. But let's go after our little friends in here. Let's see their stats, and let's talk about them. So, that's our aircrafts. There is 7 of them. So let's go after our first category, which is the burst mass, or the DPS. Well, in that matter, the P63A10 did win the category with the astonishing mark of 4.28 kilograms per second, closely followed by his brother, the P63A5, with 4.08 kilograms per second. Then we are moving to the Risen with his DPS on the point of 3.56. Then the Spitfire Mark 9 with 3.23 kilograms per second. Then the Yak-3 with 2.63 kilograms per second. And we do finish off with the BF-109s. The F4 and the G2 both have exactly the same DPS of 1.93. Now, the turn time, our favorite category for all the dogfighters out there. Well, dogfighters. The first place in this category goes for the Yak 3 with his 17.2 seconds turn time. Then there is the Spitfire with the 18.5. Then the both BF-109s, and that's what amazed me, because their turn time is 20.2 seconds, while the 0G Gravity Fighter, which is the reason, do have the turn time of 20.5 seconds. With the Air Cobras, well, they are both on the pretty same level of 22.4, so they did placed last in the comparison. Now, as it goes for the ammunition per gun, well, the clear winner in this category is the P63A5 version of the King Cobra. I will take that out for a second. And it do have 260 shots per one of his 4 carabines, and he also do have 37 shots for his 37mm cannon. So that's a lot. That's the sniper aircraft, and he is closely followed, of course, by his brother, the P63A10 King Cobra, which do have a bit less ammunition per gun, because it do only have 225, so very close in here, and he do have a bigger number of shots per his cannon, well, also 37mm, but it do have 58 shots in it. So that's why he did place on the second place. The third place goes to the Yak 3, and his 250 ammunition per one of his 12mm machine guns, with the 120 shots for his cannon. On the fourth place goes the British Spitfire, with the number of well, now we will have only 7.7 or 7 point something millimeter machine guns, so that's why those aircrafts are a bit lower. And the Spitfire do have 350 shots per one of his 4 machine guns, and he do have 60 cannon shells for his cannons, both of them. Then we do have our Japanese Risen, with the number of 500 ammunition for his 7.7 millimeter machine guns, and 100 cannon ammunition for its cannons. Then there goes the both BFs, the BF-109G2 and the premium version of BF-109F4, with the number of 500 ammunition per machine gun and 150 ammunition for their cannons. And you might just ask why I did put the British a bit higher from the Spitfire, who do have only 60 shots per his cannon, above the Japanese one with 100 ammunition for the cannons. Well, first of all, the Spitfire have two more carabines placed in it, because it do have 4, and the Japanese Risen have only 2. And the thing is that I would say that the British cannons are firing in the more straight path, and they are, I would say, a bit quicker. I don't know how to put it into the right words, but what I did find that the Risen and all the Japanese, their cannon seems to be, first of all, shooting a bit slower than, well, let's say, British. and they tend to, well, do tend to do more damage, but aiming with them and hitting with them is a bit harder. And I will explain that, I believe, in my future videos, when I will be flying on all the tier 9s and comparing them to each other. So I will explain that at this stage, or maybe if I will do some video on to regarding the fighters in general. But well, I do need to show you that in order to get my point to you, because well, I still miss some words, and I don't want to say something that will be well, I will hear in the comments that it was totally crap and totally not worth it. But now let's move to the repair cost. And since we are in the Japanese, well, the Japanese are the most expensive. The reason is the most expensive aircraft to repair on the tier 9. His repair cost is 7,200 golden eagles. Then we do get both of the American King Cobras, with their repair cost of the A10 being on the level 4,680, with the A5, so his little brother, of 3,060, with the exactly same thing with the Yak 3, which also have 3,600 golden, well, sorry, lions, just lions, not golden eagles, just lions, of the repair cost. Then there is the Spitfire, with his repair cost of 2,808. I don't know where this 8 comes from. With the BF-109 G2, with his repair cost of 1,908, again 8. And we're finishing off with the premium BF-109F4 with his repair cost of 1,872. Well, I do need to say that you can lose 3 BF-109 G2 for the price of 1 Raisin. Well, that's a bit, that's expensive plane to fly, the Raisin Mod 22. But also, what I did find, it's well, I won't say it's durable plane, because well, you can get on fire into, well, just looking at the enemy. But yet again, well, you did see my game with the Raisin with the 13 kills. So you will get the idea on how well this aircraft can do in the right circumstances. I'm not saying the right hands, but I will say in the right circumstances. Okay, now let's move to the rate of climb. And this category is yet again win by, well, it's win by the Spitfire with his 26 meter per second climb rate. Then we get our both BF-109s, the F4 and the G2, with the 20 meters per second of climb time. Then there is the Yak 3 with his 19 meters. Then there is Raisin with 14 meters per second. And we're finishing off this category very fast with the both of the King Cobras with only 13 meters per second of climb rate. Now, my favorite category when it comes to the fighters is the additional armament. So, how well you can ruin the life of bombers carrying your bombs. And here, on the first place, and that might come as some of the surprise, because, well, no, it wasn't the American, it was the BF-109 G2. And it's only because he can carry this one 500 kilo bomb. In close relation, it will be 1,000 pound bomb. So you can crack the pillbox with it. You can destroy pretty much, well, I won't say the battleship or the aircraft carrier, but most of the land targets you can destroy with ease with this one bomb. So that's why the BF-109G2 did place on the first place. Then there comes the Americans when on the second place the P63A10, because he can carry those three 500 pounds, so that would be three 250 kilo bombs, and yet again you can destroy all of the ground targets with it, or well, ground, not the sea targets, ground targets with this bomb amount. But yet again they are free, so you do need a bit of the luck to get the 3 direct hits in a row, or 2 direct hits in the row to crack the pillbox, and that's sometimes not happening. So you do need to drop all your bombs at once to get this one perfect to destroy the pillbox. So that's why he did placed on the second place. Then we do have a tie between the another version of the King Cobra, the P63A5, who can carry one 250 kilo bomb, with the BF-109F4, who can also carry one 250 kilo bomb. Then there we do have our Spitfire with 100 kilo bomb, well, close to 100 kilo bomb, or 250 pound bomb, as you can see here. Then we do have our Yak-3 without any armament present, exactly the same as the Japanese Raven. So that's why they did place on the last place, because, well, you don't have anything with them. But I would say that the Russians don't suffer from it, just because of the fact they do have very good ground attacks and very good bombers up to this level. Well, the Japanese, well, they are a bit in the disadvantage here, because their bomber line end on the tier 7, and they don't tend to get that many of bombs into them. So I would say that the Japanese are, well, they're not that great right now in terms of the fighter bombing or even the bombers. But again, it's still beta, so keep that in mind. We might see some great Japanese bombers out there, maybe soon, maybe later. But let's get back to the subject. Well, I would say, and I will say it, I was pretty surprised when I did the final calculation for the for all of the fighters. Let's have a look at them again. When I did add points, when I did all the math, I would say that this category was a very close one. With the points difference between aircrafts, there wasn't so bad. So they are pretty even aircrafts, and you will see why in a second. So let's see who's the best aircraft, and let's see which aircraft is the worst in this comparison. And here they are. And remember, those are just the raw stats comparison. There is not me comparing how I did enjoy the certain aircraft. No, that's just the raw stats you can see here, with the burst mass, turn time, repair cost, rate of climb, ammunition per gun, and additional armaments present on the aircraft. Those are the categories I am comparing those aircrafts you see in here. And as you can see, the first place goes to the Spitfire Mark 9 with his 30 points. Well, you might say, well, okay, this is a tier 10 aircraft. Well, it should be better than the tier 9s. But where you look at the second place, the BF-109G2, you will see that, well, the Spitfire being a tier higher, and he only scored 2 points more than the BF-109G2. So 1 tier difference, not that much in the scores, in the terms of the raw stats. Then we do have on the third place, well, as you can imagine, both of the King Cobras with the 27 points. Not that much of the difference between them and the BF109 G2. Then we do have on the fourth place, again the tie between the BF109 F4 and the Yak 3, which both scored 26 points in all the categories. And we're finishing off, which was a bit of a surprise for me, with the Raisin. And that was a surprise for me because if you will see my last video, whenever I was flying this particular aircraft in the mission, you will see, well, I did good in it. And the reason it is on the last place is because, well, the only thing it do exceeds in is the, I would say, in-game turn time, the flight model implemented by the designers to the game, and by his cannons. Because as I did say when I was comparing the ammo per gun, the Japanese cannons, they do tend to do more damage. Or I think they do a bit more damage. But again, I am very surprised that this aircraft got only 21 points, comparing just the raw stats with the other tier 9 fighters. Because as you can see, the beginning of the lineup, so the BF109 G2 up to the Yak 3, which is, this is only a 1 point spread between them, and 2 points between the second place and the fourth place. So I would say they were all pretty much balanced aircrafts, and you can expect them to perform very, very good. There is, well, you won't get the, well, I would say the edge in any category right here, because they were very, very close to each other. Then we do have a big gap of 5 points between the fourth place and the fifth, and I don't know why, but well, that's the game. That's the raw stats, and remember, that's the only raw stats. So guys, that would be it for today, because I do believe I did cover all the things I wanted to cover. And for the increased number of questions whenever I will be flying the B-17s or the B-24D, the Liberator, I will answer yet again. With the current state of the game, it is unprofitable to fly on the arcade mission with those bombers. And even though I do have all the bombs I need for my B-17G, I do have unlocked everything I could for this aircraft. Yet again, I won't be flying this aircraft just because of the fact of the ridiculously high amount of repair cost for it. The 26,000 credits, well, again, it's a no-go for me. So, well, first of all, I will need to farm some credits right now, because I did buy some aircrafts recently, and I will need to go for my tier 4 lineups just to farm some credits. That would be probably the British, or maybe the American lineup up to tier 4. And I will try to get some footage for you from those credit grinding games that I will be playing, just to show you if it is possible. Well, I would say now I do have 74,000 lions. After an evening of playing, I would say I would get to something like 500,000 with the tier 4s. Well, I won't be flying alone. I will be flying with friends. And also remember, if you do have the opportunity to squad up with someone and get on the some sort of the voice communicator, do it, because then the game will be much easier for you, because first of all you can fly with each other, you can attack the same targets, you can secure each other's sixes or each other backs, and that is the good thing to grind credits, because you will get most kills, you will get the good experience, and in the process you will learn how to fly with a teammate, and that's always a good thing. But that would be it for today. Like I did say, I don't know about this week how often I will be able to release the videos, but if you do believe I will release some videos, well, like this video if you like it, it would be very appreciated if you would subscribe to my channel. That would be a very great for me. And yet again, I would like to thank you all for tuning in, and see you next time. But until then, Iron Rifle out.